What's up, guys? Koma here, and today we are covering some new Splitgate stuff. So it might be a shorter video compared to my previous breakdowns, considering some a little bit of information was found in the whole 9 yards, and specifically that information was this screenshot. So, just as a fair heads up, as far as we know, this is a work in progress concept. So nothing we see here is final, but I do expect some of what we are seeing to actually carry over, such as the character in the bottom left and maybe the gun icons, as I do think these are some of the final gun icons, and a few other things. So, starting off with the guns themselves, I covered this in my last video where I really do think that we are having some sort of weapon system that means that if you play a certain faction, you are essentially only going to be using a specific set of weapons. And evidently, this would lean further towards this theory because, well, number one, these are both Eros weapons. We've seen both of them. Specifically, this little top SMG we've seen in screenshots, and this little SMG here was actually seen actually in the cinematic trailer on the wall for a little what's it called? Little advertisement, little sponsor. And then this SMG is obviously the one that is the biggest and it's more brighter in the UI here. So it apparently holds 40 rounds, and apparently whatever the other little SMG is only holds 15. So chances are it actually might not be an SMG. It's actually a little sidearm or a pistol. I would assume that's kind of what it's leaning more towards. It reminds me a little bit of the AUG as it stands in the hand a little bit. And it seems like that's a weird thing that Eros likes to design their stuff around. Of course, we can see the portal. The portal looks relatively similar. I would say it's a bit more high quality than what we saw in Splitgate 1. But you can see there's even a little icon above it. Which, speaking of icons, if we come down to the corner where the guns are, we have our, I want to say abilities, but we're not totally sure what these are. So Q and E are either portal or the portal. So basically, I think Q is to simply throw down your portal. This is kind of, to me, would make sense as it's kind of like this dotted um pill shaped, I guess. And then you have like the circle. So I think that what that basically implies is like placing down a portal. The weird thing is that whenever you played Splitgate, you always had two buttons for portals. So this is interesting considering the fact that now that's no longer the case, at least from what we can see, because if we do have multiple abilities, it seems like we only have one of them. So this means Eros would probably only have the portable, because I believe this G, which typically is grenade, would typically be the EMP grenades in Splitgate 1, but I think this might be the shock disc. Simply because number one, it mimics the Eros design logo, as you kind of see up here, where it has this very thin line that connects, and it kind of does have this weird disc design. So I think we are going to be getting unique grenades for each faction. So this means this is probably the shock disc. I would assume E is either portal or the portal wall, and Q is either the opposite of what we were looking at. We got the little score tracker up here with the timer. So basically, I would assume this also shows you who is alive. So if this character dies, then somehow this symbol disappears, as this is the Eros logo, and it also shows you the score. And this is huge. Ignore the text because that's just an Unreal Engine text thing. This is a mini map. Now, anyone familiar with Halo or Splitgate 1 understands that we previously had no mini map. It was a radar specifically, so it showed people who were above you or below you in multiple different ways. So it's interesting to see that this is a mini map. especially looking at the way that this room is set up as they're staring at a wall, and it doesn't look like there's actually a wall on this mini map, weirdly enough. So this might be something that's a work in progress, but we really won't know. Um, and then we get the health bar, and I would assume would be the character. Actually, we do know which character this is, and this is Adaro. He's actually featured in the first Splitgate comic, and you can tell this is him because number one, you have uh, the the blonde hair that's flowing, and he has these weird like holographic, almost like I don't know like way to explain them, but they're very like holographic designed, as you can kind of see them flow. And he also does have a helmet, of which in the first page he actually does have like a full on helmet. Um, but when it comes down to this one, you can see that he doesn't have his helmet on, and you can actually see this thing. Now you can't really see the black like roots in his hair like his other one, but from comparing the bits of, you know, his suit, it lines up pretty well. So chances are this is probably Adaro. He doesn't. Well, yeah, he does have the blue. So this is probably Adaro, and it shows you what faction he's part of. And so yeah, I do think this is wholeheartedly Adaro. That this dev is playing at. But again, this isn't final, so we might see some minor changes coming to this UI. I generally like how this UI is looking right now, because it's clean, it's not too cluttered. I hope the mini map is pulled up a little bit more, because I've noticed the mini map's a little low, and usually it sits perfectly, kind of like snug into the top left corner or wherever Halo typically had it. Halo has shifted it throughout the years, but I think most of the time it's stuck in the top left. But I know it's shifted between top left and bottom left before on the screen, so who knows? But yeah, that's generally everything I want to cover. Again, a very quick video, nothing too crazy here. I finally got my mic up, and I wanted to cover it before I completely forgot. And if you guys are ever curious about the comics, you can download the free Splitgate 2 mobile app, and you can read these comics completely on your own. The art is really nice. You can see some of the weapons throughout the game that will be coming up. And yeah, if you guys want to check those out, feel free. It's completely free, and they will be releasing a new comic sometime next month in August, around the time for Gamescom, I would assume. So yeah, if you guys liked the video or found it informative, like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all another time. Adios.